Namaste students. Today we'll be continuing with the same chapter, data file handling. Okay, so in the previous class we have learned about using a text file, how to open a file and how to close a file, and we have learned about the different types of modes of file like read, write and append mode, out of which we have already practiced read, read in, read light and read line. So today we will be focusing on the write mode, in which write method and write lines method and append mode. Okay, now using text files, so more about write mode. Now when I will be explaining you about the write mode, please understand the append mode is more or less the same. The only difference is the functions, the methods are same what we are using in the write mode. Write string and write lines, only two methods are there in write as well as in the append. The same methods are available in append. The only difference is when I am opening the file using a write mode, in that case my new that file which I will be creating, or I am, let's say I have opened a previous one. Generally in the append I am opening a previous file, right? But in the write I can create a new file also, or I can open the previous file which is already there in the operating system. So in that case that file will be overwritten if I am using a write mode on already existing file, right? If I am making a file, opening a file with the write mode and that file is not there on the operating system, in that case it will be created in your Python folder, default folder, right? Whereas in case of append, we generally use append with the files which are already existing in the system, and we are writing. So by default that data will be appended at the end of the file automatically. Okay, so I'm starting with the write mode. To write into a file we need to open the file in write mode. This we all are aware of. So like using W as a second argument of open. Now in write mode, even if file is not existing in the system, then it will be created automatically with the given name of the file, right? Now Python provides two methods for writing data into a file. One is the write string method and another is write lines method. Now write string method, this method takes a string as parameter argument and writes it in the file. For storing data with multiple lines we need to use /n. This we know, it's an end of line character for our files. Now write lines, this is used for writing a list, tuple, etc., or sequence data type basically. And it includes strings also, that also can be written using this method. So it's not that only the write method can be used for strings, even write lines can also be used for strings. Okay, now again the points which you should remember when you will be using this is, if the file is not existing already, then it will get created in the same default folder where your Python has been installed. Also you always have to close, use a close method, and you have to close the file just like in the read. Okay, so I'm coming out of it and I am taking you to the Python. Okay, so my previous file was my file which we have opened in the read mode. Now I am using some other file, right, which is not there in my folder. So I'll just quickly show you what all files are there. So I'll show it to you from here only. I'll say open, and this is my Python 38 is my default folder. So if I click here, I will go to text files. So you can see in the text file there is only my file and news.txt. So let me make a file1.txt. okay, so let's make that file now. So I'm canceling this, and what will I do? I will take a variable handle here, and I say open, and I say file name, like as I told you, file1.txt. Now we know that this file is not existing in my folder, and then I use the W. Now if I will use a read mode here, then definitely this command is going to give me an error, because it will find that file for read mode and that file is not existing. But now since I am using a writing mode, and as I told you, I'm so sorry, and as I told you that it will create the file automatically, so you can see there is no error now. So that file is automatically created. Now what will I do? I will say f dot, and I will use the write function, write, and I will enter the arguments. So let's say I write this is line 1, and then I say /n. Now please understand this /n is also counted as one character. So you can see it is showing me 14. That means I have entered 14 characters, right? And if I will say now okay, let me show you that also. So I should have given it in one command. Let me show. So this is line 2/n, and then I'm writing this is line 3/n, and I'm closing it and I'm pressing enter. Now I am just going to my, I'm saying f.close now. Okay, so I'm saying f.close. Okay, so what I do now is I'll just go and or I can go from that. I can check, so that you can also revise the path how to get your file. Generally it is same everywhere, as I told you. So in the C, you can find it in the users. So this part will not be there in your system, but then this app data will be there. You can see, this folder is a little light colored. Why? Because it was a hidden folder. So if you will Google how to see your hidden folders, you will get to know the procedure. Otherwise, do pass this in the comments and I will tell you the procedure how to see your hidden folders, okay, and hide your hidden folders. Although I'm sure most of you must be knowing this. So I click on this, then I go to local. In the local, I go to programs. There I have my Python installed and I have to go to Python 38 folder. Now there, if you will see, now my text file which I have created was file1. So you can see this file1 is now there. Now when I double click on it, so you can see the data which I have entered. This is file, this is line 1, this is line 2, this is line 3 is existing. So one thing I want you to notice here, that in this case, when I have used the write commands, although I've used it twice, but my file was opened once and I haven't closed it. If I, let us try that also now. So let me, I just keep that folder open and I'm closing this text file. Okay, now let me do it again. So f dot, so I just instead of doing, I just copy paste the commands. So I open it again and I say Control V, and you can see it's open. Then I do one thing now, I just Control C and I write it and I say write, this is line 4. Okay, and then I just press enter and I say f.close. So I have tried to add another line. Now let me go back to that folder. I just double click on this file. So what you can see now there is just one line. This is line 4. Why? Because I told you that write command is going to overwrite if your file is already existing and there is something written in that file, and if you use a write command and you call that file and you write something, then that data is going to be overwritten. Okay, so this thing you have to keep in mind. So you have to use a write command very, very carefully. Okay, so this I hope now is clear to you, that the write command when you are using is going to overwrite the previous data. So you have to type whatever you want to type in that. Your file should be in the open mode with the write mode till the point you want to keep on adding the text. Moment you will use the close command, after that if you open it again, then that data will be overwritten. One thing. Now the second one was write line. So this is used to write, this is used for writing a list, tuple, etc. Right? Now we have learned that read lines was the method which was giving us the data back in a list mode. So same here we try. So I'll say f equals to open and I say file1.txt, right, and then I say w mode, and then I say so I say write lines, and then I say I try to give it in the list form. Okay, I say line 1/n to put this. Okay, now let me do f.close, right, and that's it. And let me minimize it. Let me go back to file menu. So you can see now, so you can put a list. Okay, so you can see my 3 lines are being added in my file. Okay, so I'm moving back to my PPT part now. So you have seen that right and right line can be used, 2 methods can be used in the right mode. Moving on to the next slide. So in the append mode, let's quickly go through it. So you can say using text files, more about append mode. So append means adding to. So if a already existing file has some data and we want to add some more data in the file without losing the previous one, then we use append, that is a method. Open for writing and open for writing, and if it exists, then append data to the end of the file. This is how I can explain append, that open for writing, and if the data is existing, then it will append at the end of the file. I'm again reinforcing end of the line. Right now, Python provide 2 methods for appending the data, so they are same, so I'm not going to read them out. Write string method and write lines method. I just quickly show you the practical implementation of both. I say file 1. Okay, so I make changes in file 1. So I know in file 1 I have 3 lines, right, as line 1, line 2 and line 3. So I am just opening it in the append mode. I have opened it in the append mode and I end it. Okay, so my file is open in the append mode. Now if it would have been in the W mode, so it will overwrite. Now what I will do, I'll say, now my list is this, so I add this list now. Okay, so I say f dot and then the command which is write line. So first let me use write line because I wanted to show you to add write line, sorry, and then I say x. Okay, so I say this and I say f dot, and then I also write also, I use write also. Okay, so I say write, and then I will say last line append it. Okay, and I close it. That's it. And I say, so you can say with write, it is showing you the number of characters you are adding in the file. So I say f dot close, and closing the file, and I am going back to my folder. And then file 1, I think we have made the changes. So yes, file 1. So you can see after line 1, this was already existing in the file. This data was previously there. Now we have now just added item 1, item 1, item 1, and then last line appended because I haven't given the /n. So I hope this is clear how to use the write and write lines in the append mode also. So we are done with that. Let's move to the next part of the PPT. Okay, so next part is now using with statement. Now what is with statement? Let us understand this. We can open the files directly the way I have just demonstrated you and in the previous class too. But in that case, I have to explicitly call the close method, because until unless I will not close, you have seen that that file was not flushing the rest of the thing. So this is what I wanted to explain it to you also, that when you are using the write function in that time, or append function, at that time your data is not directly written to the file, right? At that time your data is being kept somewhere in the buffer, like in a temporary file in the buffer. The moment you explicitly call the close function, or you close the application at all, then that data is being flushed and to the forcefully to your file. Right? So that's why the close command is a good practice, which I have mentioned you. So maybe sometime when you are closing the entire mode, your interactive mode, shell mode, and maybe that may not be then flushed. So it's always a good practice to use a close method. One thing. Second is in the with statement. Now what is the benefit? Now calling explicitly means you have to type that command. You have learned the explicit calling in the 11th grade. So with the with statement, you need not to call the close method, because the moment you will be done with that set of statements, it automatically close will be called off. Right now, how that I will just show you. So let's first read this जो मैंने इतनी मेहनत से लिखा भी है. So when we use open method to read or write in a file, we need to use close function after using it. That means we are explicitly calling the close function every time. But if we use the command to create a file, then we need not to close the file explicitly. Using with ensure that all the resources allocated to the file objects get deallocated automatically once we stop using the file. So how to use that? So syntax for that is you have to write with and then open mode. So instead of writing f equal to open, you have to write with open myfile.txt as f, and then you have to write the, now you can see I am using a colon sign, and the moment I write the column sign, it automatically will give an indentation, just like in the for or in the other things. So then you have to write that what you want to do with that file, read or write, whatever you want, and rest is same as we use it normally. And the moment you go out of this indentation, that means this with block will be closed. So this is actually a with block. So this with block will be closed, and the close function automatically will be implemented here, right? Let's see how, and I will show you the difference also then, with the practical thing. So okay, so one more thing. So when I was not using this, we have done in the previous classes, so I need not to show you with this that if I'm using the f dot closed command, it will, I am writing f dot closed and I press enter, so it is showing me true now because I have already used the close function before it. If I would have been using this command before this, then it would have shown me the false command. So now the same thing I am showing you with the usage of with statement. So with, and as I told you, name of the method, open, and I write the name of the file. So let's say I am using the append mode. Okay, let's start with append mode, and file 1 I'm opening again, .txt. It could be in the read, write, and any file, right? The rest is same. There is nothing new in this. Only the way of calling this is different now. As, and the name of the handler. So let's say f. Okay. Also, sorry, I forget to put the colon sign. I'm so sorry, my bad. So I am using it here, and I have to put a colon sign and enter. So you can see the indentation is being there now. Now I have to say it's open. So I write f dot write, and I say new line. So what I do is, there was no slash n at the end, so I give a in the beginning also, so that before this line will start there should be a line break. So new line using with statement. Okay, and that's it. So sorry. And then I press enter, and that's it. I just go out. So it is showing me that 30 characters are being appended. Right now what I do is, if I will show you, let me maximize it. And now if I will show you, if I use f dot close, now you see I haven't used the close function at all, but if I call f dot close, it's showing me true. That means the moment you are out of the block of with statement, it automatically, the file will automatically get closed. So this is the advantage of using the with statement. Okay, so if in case you forget, even then that will be taken care automatically. So using tell and seek method. Now what are these? So these two methods are very, very important for you to see the position of the handle. Till now when we are using the handle, doing the read command. So basically it is helpful in the read command. So when we are using the various method of read mode, we have seen that if pointer moves after a command, it reads from that point only. Right. So if we want to see the position of the pointer, or we want to move the pointer at some other position, we can do that using the tell or seek command. So previously when we use the read command, and once we are at the end of the file and I want to read some of the previous file again, I cannot do it until I will close that file and reopen it in the read mode. But now using this tell and seek command, especially seek command, will help me to set the position of my pointer, to move the pointer at the position mentioned in the argument, right? And tell command to print the current position of the handle. Let's quickly show you practically the same thing. Going there. Okay, let me open the which file. File 1 has most of the data, so let me open the file 1. Okay, so I will say f equals to open, and I say file 1 file1.txt. okay, and I close it. So read mode has, so I need not to mention it. Now my file is open in a read mode. Now if I'll say f.tell, right, so it will show me that right now, because when the file is opened, it is on the 0th position, that means at the beginning of the character. And I will say print, okay, I'll say print, not print directly, first f dot read line. So I do it line by, so that you can see the changing position of the pointer. So f dot read line, and I want to print, okay, let me directly do it. So line 1 it is been showing, and if I use the f dot tell now, so you can see it is showing me on the 7th. So the position of the pointer now is 7, because 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, as I told you, that is also been counted. The /n is also a character which we need to count. And then next thing I will do f dot read line, and I'll read one more line. Again it was line 1, and now if I see the position, now the pointer will be again 7 more characters. So 7 more characters, 14th character. Now let me open the file so that we can understand where we want to go. File 1 is having 3 line breaks, and after that the 4th line is a longer one. So okay, let me do 2 read lines together. Okay, so I'll say just copy paste, why type so much. Okay, this and this. Okay, so now I am on this line now. Now this was the 14th, so this must be 21. So let me go back to 7th one. Okay, so what will I do? I will say f dot seek, and otherwise if I would not have used the seek, I don't have any way to go back. So using this, I am saying go to the 7th position, back to the 7th position. So it is showing me 7. Now if I say f dot read line, it will show me the line which is after the 7th position, which was this one. And let's say if I say f dot seek, and I set the pointer somewhere in 21, right? So maybe this item 1 wala line should come back. So then I say let's check on my pointer right now. 21 obviously. I'm so sorry. So I say read line. Okay, so you can see now this line is moved. So this is how I can move the position of my pointer at the different places. Okay, so let's move on to the PowerPoint part. So this is again clear. Let me see what is being left. Now next slide is a practice question. Before this practice question, I need to give you a demo also. So I have typed this program, which is again, as I told you in your book. Let us quickly understand this program. So what I have done, I have taken 2 variables, name and age, in which the user will be entering their name and age, and that will be entered as a string, right? Now then I have opened the file, new file.txt. If this file is already existing, well and good. If it is not, we are doing it for the first time, running the program for the first time, then definitely a new file will be created, right, with this name. And why we are opening it in append mode? Because we want that every time when I run this program, the data should be appended at the end of the file, right? Then f.write, and then write function, you already know that write function will help you to add the strings in the file. So right now this variable in which the user will enter the name, that will be passed as a string, and the same is the age. And then as I told you, we are using the F method, this mode, write mode, and this without the with statement. So I need to explicitly call close function after running this program every time, right? So this statements now I hope is clear to you all. So I just run this. I say okay. So now it is asking me my name. I am saying Pooja, age, okay. So it's not this Pooja, okay, not me. So I am entering 18, okay. Okay, then I go back and I say run again. So every time when I run this program, so Namya, missing you a lot. Okay, sorry, not 6, that's 2. I hope 16 or 17. Okay, let me do 16. Then so every time when I run this, it will keep on adding the data. So I just show you that I've made the file name was new file. Okay, so I go here. So this new file is been here. So you can say Pooja 18, Namya 16. So this is how it keep on adding in my text file whatever times I enter or run this program. Right, so this is the question which I am giving you as a challenge, you can say, or as a homework, you can say. The question is write a program to append a file name myfile.txt. So the name of the file should be myfile.txt and it should be open in a append mode, right? By accepting what all it should accept: name, subject 1, subject 2, subject 3 from the user, and save the data into a text file in the given output form. So this tabular type of thing should be there, the way I have shown you the output of this. Now also every time when you run the program, it should be in a loop. So it should not be that in the previous book example you have seen that once I have run the program, I am out of the program, and then again I have to run that by running the program. So it should not be like that. It should be in a loop and it should keep on asking me until the user is pressing y, that program should run. Once the user will press anything beside y, then it should come out of the program, right? Okay, so let me show you the working of it once. So I have to click here. Okay, now enter the name. So let's say I enter, this time I enter Charu's name. Okay, Charu. And the subject she has is accounts, eco, and what else she has? Accounts, eco, and business studies, sorry, PST. Okay. Okay. Now if I say Y, so it will ask me for another child. So I'm entering Ravin, me enter maths this time, and maybe English, and what else? Okay, let him learn Sanskrit. Okay. Okay, so if I say press N now, so it's out. Okay, now I show you the output of this file. Okay. Yeah, so you can see this was the previously entered data, Neha, Pooja, Rahul, Meenal. Now this is today's entered data, Charu, Ravin, and all right. So this should be the output I am expecting from you all.